Hey guys, John Loxley here, back with Dishonored. Actually, pretty much started recording right after I left off the last episode. I was pretty interested. I'm really curious to see where this game's going to go from now. So let's continue. Last time we basically just met the Loyalists. We met Piero, got a couple upgrades, and then went to sleep, and then now we woke up somewhere. There's a lot of world building that's going on here pretty soon, or they've kind of front loaded the world building, so hopefully we get to see some action here pretty soon. I know we will. It's just a matter of time, but like I said, I'm really curious what's going on now. Okay, so we're in a room. I don't know if this is where we went to sleep or if we got kidnapped, like in like that Skyrim Dark Brotherhood quest. We'll find out. Something isn't right. Yeah, you're not joking. And water's going up. Strange gravity. I think this whole place is strange gravity. We don't need to go.
Hello, Corvo. Your
hello?
life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that men call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power, my gift to you. Come find me.
Okay, power, blink. Press right mouse button to execute a fast and stealthy forward dash through the world. You can also use it to move upward, but the distance is reduced. Aiming at ledges will allow you to blink forward and climb on. Okay. Hold right mouse to target your destination with precision. A blue sphere indicates you should reach your destination. Blue arrow indicates you will need to climb up when you reach your destination. Okay. Okay, so I have the magic now, and I have the, looks like an arrow next to my monobar. So that guy had black eyes. Is he El Diablo? Okay. Oh, I see. So it's... Oh, well. Sorry, lady. Fallen letter. You cannot save her. You cannot save her. You cannot save her. Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, she's dead. So... Piero's spiritual remedy. Press T to drink a mana potion. Well, okay. I don't need to yet, though. Okay. Nice little training area. Watch your step. Oh, I see. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I guess I made it. Whale oil, and that's a fish. Who are those people? Emily's letter. Corvo, I'm very sad. They say you're dead like mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. Don't worry, Emily. I'm coming. But who are these people? And why is there a whale over there? Oh, okay. I was hoping to see those two guys. So I like the art direction because everybody looks like they're made of wax. But it's really hard to tell like who people are from their faces. Okay. So I think no, that would there you go. Okay. Okay. Spy Master. Not really sure what he's doing. Aside from throwing a tantrum, I guess. And this must be like... I'm actually seeing these worlds. Missing, that's probably me. And... Bestalon, Segundo, Calero, Dunwall. So I assume he's thinking of invading other places? Okay, what are those? And these are, well, I assume they have the plague, and then, crazy dudes are going after him. Aim at the edge of the roof. Okay. So, like, you see the whale in here, and it said, like... So does the power, like, are whales magic? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Maybe.
Days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
I generally make it my business not to listen to inanimate objects, but, you know. Okay. Equipping the heart in your left hand helps you locate bone charms or runes, even through walls. The heart beats and lights up when you're facing a bone charm or room, and it beats faster as you get closer. The heart will whisper secrets if you press right mouse while targeting a person or location. Okay. Quick access wheel tutorial. Didn't I do that already? Well, whatever, it's fine. Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so it kind of points it out, which is nice, but the heart, you know, is beating as well. I assume in the, you know, non-training area, it's going to be a little more difficult.
This place is the end of all things, and the beginning.
That was the Empress, I think. That was the heart talking to me, by the way, in case... I mean, it wasn't obvious. Okay. Oh. You guys are so nice. I mean, seriously though, I'm glad they rewarded. Like, they put this thing right up here for you to, like, hey, maybe there's something up there. And then they reward you for looking, so yeah. Okay, so the heart is definitely glowing more, beating a little bit faster. So that dude is the outsider, and he walks among us, apparently.
All of time's meaning is here. Neither seconds nor centuries.
Yeah, okay. So the rune is down there, maybe. Okay. So, oh, I see, you're pointing at it. When you point at it, the heart glows and beats and stuff. When you're not, it doesn't. Okay, well... Oh! Whoop. Okay. Oh. Really? That fall? I mean, it didn't hurt me, but... Yep, I assume you fall there. I also assume I get to take the potions back with me that I'm collecting. Oh, right. Okay.
Someday this place will devour all the lights in the sky.
I'm not sure that's a good thing. But, you know, whatever.
The one who walks here is all things. Cradle songs of comfort and bones gnawed by teeth.
So the outsider is God.
This is the place from which those who dabble in black arts draw their power. And this place is their doom.
I mean, I guess that's fine. There doesn't have to be a good god or a bad god. There can just be a god that... Was it Kali from the Hindu that, like, something about childbirth and death at the same time?
I can feel a great age ending. This place is the end of all things, and the beginning.
Okay.
All of time's meaning is here. Neither seconds nor centuries.
Okay, so this is a rune. It doesn't... I mean, it doesn't look like a rune. Oh, well, I guess so. Okay. Okay, runes and acquiring powers. Once you've collected some runes, open the journal and go to the powers section to exchange them for powers. Runes can be collected to use and used to acquire supernatural powers. So do you get to pick? Well, maybe eventually, but not now. Oh, wait, hang on. You can acquire Vitality or Dark Vision, and it looks like what are these, enhancements? Okay. Well, let's take a look. Oh, I see you have rune costs. I only have one. Okay, so Dark Vision is see in the dark, see living beings through walls, including their fields of vision. Representations of the sounds that you make are also visible. That seems handy. Like, to be able to sneak up on people. Okay. See in the dark and see living beings through all, including their fields of vision. That actually seems more awesome now that I know you can see where they're seeing. Blah, blah, blah. Seek useful objects and security systems. Okay. Dark vision is highly useful for stealth, allowing you to watch enemies from behind walls before approaching them. Seeing an enemy's facing and view cone, view cone, give you a significant advantage in terms of sneaking. With this power active, you can see visual representation of the sounds, which further aid in sneaking and understanding stealth. At level 2, useful items, resources, and security devices such as the Wall of Light are visible through walls as well. Okay, let's look at vitality, which I assume is just extra health. Yeah, okay. Health and health regeneration. I'm going to be honest, I didn't realize your health regenerates at all. Okay. Your health is decreased, allowing you to sustain more damage from attacks, explosions, or falling. Explosions. At level 2, the portion of your health bar that regenerates is improved in several ways. Regeneration occurs faster and more of your health regenerates. Okay, that makes sense. So maybe it's only, like once you get down to like 25% or something, that's the only part that regenerates. And then we have a tutorial. Let's see the tutorial. See if you blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, neat. You know what? I think I'm going to go with dark vision. Yes. Alright. And the second level costs 2 runes.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Okay. Yep, it wasn't a dream. Mission clues updated. Optional rune. Use the heart to find the rune. Okay. Find the rune near the Hound Pit's pub. Yeah, let's do that, absolutely. Oh, rune or bone charm nearby. Equip the heart. Okay, that sounds like a plan. Oh, those are bone charms. Okay. Bone charms provide small supernatural benefits. Locate them by listening for the song they emit. By default, you can activate up to 3 bone charms at once in the bone charm section of the journal. I'm gonna be honest, I don't... Oh, well, okay, let's try, let's pick up these first. Mystical Whale Artifact. Okay. Pouch. Oh, excellent. New bone charm. Journal of Granny Rags. Excerpt from the ramblings of a street denizen. Okay, so homeless lady. Of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street, where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside. Warm and snug, dearie. Well, yeah, except for the burning to death. But must be because of the plague. Don't forget about the bedroom, either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first 2 are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. I like this lady. She's very positive. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine, fine people. Vera Moray, everyone would say. Your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Better even. Your dinners are lavish and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandysia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. all those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me. Make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower, the royal headsman himself now. My little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. That's nice. Well, except that he, kills people. Criminals ideally, but political prisoners, I suppose, frequently. Okay, better bones are what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup and then he was sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts, I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old and don't have as many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for granny rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street. Slackjaw and his boys always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end, we'll be together with him. You and me in the dreary night with stars above and below, and always the one with the black eyes, dearie. Okay. Yep, I understand. Okay, pouch. Coins are good. Bone charms, also good. Mystical wolfhound artifact, don't know what it does. And then, fish artifact. Okay. Man, they're putting a lot of freaking books in here. Okay, rumors and sightings. Dowd? Excerpt from an overseer's covert field report. For over a year now, I've lived away at the Abbey, without the company of my overseer brethren or the guidance of the blind sisters of the oracular order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut-purses, murderers, and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I've taken my meals with killers. At times I've ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and the outlying ruins, frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long, and I wear the weathered clothing and bits of boiled leather favored by the Bottle Street and Hatter gangs, and by those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who are not fit to live, executing them justly and using their deaths as a means of building my reputation. So far, this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dowd in order to get close to him. I still have no idea how to pronounce his name, but it's fine. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dowd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off the Pendician coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to legend, I suppose, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead and the witch controlled the crew, with Dowd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years we now believe he spent traveling the Isles, studying anatomy and the occult in the great halls of learning in the hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dowd has even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself. And for a time, before a schism developed, he counted the Brigmore witches among his allies. All the while he honed his craft, and it is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the outsider. New reports emerge of a dusky-skinned assassin, paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke. From a nearby rooftop he gestured, and a noble woman stumbled from her balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dowd has been has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapor masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds, enslaving them. I wonder if this guy, Dowd, is the one that killed the Empress. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene. Carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled brother, she was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district. In a narrow street, she passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside a rattan curtain, the girl saw into an abandoned apartment used by miscreants for gambling and trading haberweed. An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from the teachings given by her local overseer. A man she described as resembling Dowd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit, as if in argument. He took a carving made of pale bone from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt. Dowd as an agent of the outsider must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath and the great purpose of my life. Until Dowd is dead and his corruption has been purged from this world, I'll continue to move among the depraved, winding my way towards him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's mask again until Dowd breathes no more. Neat. Okay. Let me just take a sip of coffee real fast. Okay, Field Survey Notes, The Royal Spy. Excerpt from the personal memoirs of Hiram Burroughs, dated several years earlier. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the distillery district, but more slowly than I'd expected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade, and we know who that is. It's little Timmy, the mute guy. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day, removing the heads that need removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that it is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting person, to believe that traitors move among us, but I know they do. They must. No, Jessamine would rather spend her time with the royal protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety, but a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wine glass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. There are many threats around us, threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. And obviously I agree. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dunwall Tower, she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles, yet her mother spoils her and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing, or asking Corvo to teach her to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunwall Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in his day, Emperor Caldwin left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they pleased. If it were me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The water lock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday the wrong person is going to slip in and will suffer for it, mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting heads of state. Although, to be fair, the ones that killed her teleported in with magic, so, I mean, you can't really protect against that. The Empress also approves of my plans for the Sokolov devices. Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the watch. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, will it all sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. Perhaps I've been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order, perhaps somewhere nice in the estate district. Hiram Burroughs, Royal Spymaster. Wow! So why did he conspire to kill the Empress, if he's trying to protect her? I did not read that one. Man, it's already been 30 minutes, just about. Okay, we'll read this real fast, and then we'll see if there's if we can grab that rune. Okay, early life and criminal record, Slackjaw. Excerpt from a series of letters sent by a member of the Bottle Street Gang. You want the chin wag on Slackjaw? What he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now. But it weren't always like that in the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street Gang. Time was, young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed, dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them, born into the brothels or coming from the orphanages, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put down in the mines run by Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns anymore, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart or sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along, because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more coin. Plus, none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across the street, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he's an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Let me take another sip of coffee, guys. Wow, there's actually a lot of stuff in this game, like a lot of lore. I kind of like it. Okay, so another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up and running the protection racket among the factory women. The factory women ran a protection racket, huh? Okay. One fine evening, we're all taking in a body show in the theater house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning. Throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Slackjaw. Hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. We all look to see if there's going to be a blood brawl. But Slackjaw just points at the door and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day without telling us why, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along. We stop at the docks and Slackjaw buys, actually pays coin for it, a heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off the side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off at different angles. Slackjaw's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when he reached his girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside. Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees a Slackjaw in the street, a look comes over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, heading straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams, but Slackjaw holds onto the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with the chain wrapped around his left arm, hook sunk into Mike the Fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that and using his left hand, but he was a big guy and it took a lot of stabbing before he went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going until finally it was just Mike the Fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, and here's the brilliant part, Slackjaw took out a note and stuck to Mike's face with a nail. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple months, but word spread fast. By the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses, telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green-Eyed Trish even came back missing a thumb, but apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. It seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market. Another slipping and falling into the water out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly open wide and a Tivian pear stuffed into his mouth. Still not sure what that meant. And Sheila Barnsworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Yeah, that's painful. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters, offers to the underbosses, telling them they'd be treated fair as peers. He even sent Green-Eyed Trish with one of the letters. All of the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of his main competition, Slackjaw went in for stabilizing his business real neat-like, calling in favors, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus, showing what he could be like as a boss. So everything got quiet, which always makes the boys at the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spymaster's snitches, the responsible citizens group they called themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms among the shopkeepers in the watch too, telling them that he was in town to stay and that things would be run properly from now on, without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running the hound fights, offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night if you take my meeting. Then the plague came. Wow, this is long. At first it seemed like a good thing. A few people got sick and everyone wanted to buy those potions from Sokolov or Piero. Health elixir or spiritual remedy they call them. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had an old whiskey factory with a still where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Sokolov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon everybody in the slums was sick and business was good. But after a while there's so many people down with the plague that everyone got scared. Everybody started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunwall would slide into the void. Spymaster Burroughs took over. Okay, so he is the Lord Regent. And the Watch started using all that new Sokolov technology. Watchtowers, tall buoys, and them arc pylons. They put up a wall of light across Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. But then Slackjaw surprised us again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley or one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch, with their taxes and rations. And that's kept us alive, so far. Crowley, Bottle Street Gang. Wow, that was a long one. Okay, let's see if we can find this this rune before we go. Okay. Well, I mean, obviously it's right there. Oh, F. Is that the lights? Okay.
Should I clear space for Samuel then?
If you like, but he won't use it.
Why?
He can't sleep in regular beds anymore, or that's what he says. Says he was in the Navy too long. Can you believe it?
Oh,
That pile of wood out there? It's a hovel he built from an old rowboat. Where does Admiral Havelock find these people, I wonder?
Doesn't really matter if they're loyal. Oh, is that the lady that was talking? Lydia.
I had a sailor for a boyfriend once. He thought he'd strike gold digging in the Pandician cliffs. They found his ship drifting empty.
Oh, okay. So he's not your boyfriend anymore, is that what you're saying? Okay, second floor. Man, that thing's still a ways. And what is this? Inchmouth decor plate. Well, you know. Hey,
Are
Wallace.
you a nobleman, Corvo? No one seems to know much about you. By your bearing, I'd say so. Lord Pendleton's great-grandfather took a Sokonan chambermaid to wife. On second thought, the story doesn't bear repeating. Even the finest blood can go bad here and there.
Okay. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but alright. Remember, steal everything that's not nailed down.
Lord Pendleton Memoirs, Chapter 27. In my 13th year, the despised stepmother at last departed, and Pendleton Hall was again quiet, although Father had by then sunk into deep depression. It was at this sensitive time that Waverly Boyle first entered my life. She who will be the source of many tender recollections to come.
Do tell. It's interesting to me that all these say, oh, hey. They say unbreakable door as if some are breakable. Let's talk to...
Good day, Master Corvo.
Yeah. Okay. Good day to you. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there's like a funk ton of books. Like a ton. Like there's like 4 in this room alone, I think. So we'll stop here, and hopefully I won't lose my voice. But again, guys, I appreciate all your time and attention. If you do have any feedback or suggestions, totally interested. And I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks again. Bye.